Um, yes, we have discussed about the segmentation and targeting. So that means we have made decision about who our target market is. Okay, the outcome of the targeting process actually revolves around the target market decision. Okay, the next thing that we need to decide is how we can service these customers. Okay, so we have further proposition concept here, which is basically about the overall positioning strategy, and it is actually about, in other words, it is actually the ratio between the price that the customers are spending to the value of the product that they purchase. Okay, so there are 9 options that marketers can select. Okay, out of these 9 options, 4 in here are basically the losers. All right, it is hard for us to win the customers if we offer the same benefits to our competitors with higher price. Okay, it is hard to win the customers if we offer a product with less benefits but higher price. All right, and the other 5 basically offer some opportunities for us to win the competition. Okay, more, for instance, we offer something more benefit with a higher price. We have higher price, but we can justify it. Okay, now each option in here has challenges. Okay, for instance, more option may be challenged in terms of when we offer something more, someone else may come into the industry offering similar benefit to us and undercut the price. Okay, so we always need to evolve what we mean by more. Okay, more for less, for instance, is not an option for us to select. We offer more benefit with less price. If you look at Lexus as a brand, for instance, yeah, we offer that as well. In fact, we are less price. Okay, or the same for less. Some brands may also offer the same benefit with less price. Okay, if you look at in supermarket industry, you can pick up, you can select a brand pretty quick. They actually adopt this kind of strategy. Okay, offering the same benefit with less price. Okay, right. So there are some options for us to consider when it comes to a value proposition. The next thing is actually about this about the product position or positioning strategy. Okay, it is actually defined as the way the product is defined by consumers based on its important attributes. Okay, it may be confusing. Okay, so ask yourself as a consumer, when it comes to buying mobile phone, for instance, or cars, for instance, or any brand like chocolate bar or any brand, okay, you will have a range of attributes to determine why you decide certain brand over the other brand. Okay, so those attributes are important for you. Okay, assuming that you reflect the entire consumer, then that is actually the one that marketers need to understand to map their brand in the competition. Okay, now the positioning in here actually helps marketers to decide the trade-off that they are going to apply. Okay, because when a marketer decides a certain positioning strategy, they actually promise to deliver that. At the same time, they promise not to deliver the others. Okay, all right. So let's simplify the customers in this universe. Right, we only have 2 types of customers. Although this is not correct. Right, it is a simple version of the consumer market. Okay, we have the premium type of customers, and the other one is the budget type of customer. Okay, the premium type of customer will demand top tier brand, brand oriented, all right, a top level of service, and so on and so forth. The other one requires budget, affordability. Okay, so when you say your brand is premium, you actually tell the other group, you are not my customer, but if you feel free to come to my brand, but you have a trade-off. So in other words, positioning is also a trade-off from the customer perspective. When they select our brand, they should be ready the consequence that comes with it. Okay, so they have to have a deeper pocket to pay the luxury brand. Okay, the same at the same token, it also applies to the budget brand. Okay, when we select a budget brand, we can't expect the top level of service, top level of attributes, and so on and so forth, right? But we expect certain, of course, we expect certain level of decency in terms of product quality. Okay. All right, so that's positioning in a nutshell. Now we normally start with the differentiation strategies. Okay, that helps us to make our brand stands out in the competition, and this is what we mean by differentiation: differentiating efforts in the competition. Okay, that leads us to competitive advantage. Okay. Now, there are 5 variables, and some other experts add with one more variable to differentiate offering. That includes pricing. So you may find Walmart, for instance, in America offers the everyday low price, basically, as another differentiation strategy. But essentially, you can look at these 5 differentiation variables to help us differentiating ourselves: product, services, channel, people, and image. Okay, we may not be able to do all 5, but we need to at least excel in one variable, okay, and match our competition with the other variables. Okay, if you can do all 5 variables, that's fantastic. Normally, market leaders are good in terms of deliveries of all 5 variables. Okay, right. The other thing I'd like to highlight to you is the positioning concept, the positioning map, which is helping us to understand how the brand competes in the consumer's mind. Okay, this positioning map helps us to determine which brand is close to us and what kind of uniqueness that we can offer in the competition. Okay, that helps us to build the unique positioning strategy for our brand. Okay. And this is probably a better one than the previous one. Look, in real life, we expect more than just 2 variables. We expect multi-variables. Therefore, we expect multi-dimensional perceptual map. Okay, not only 2 variables like this. For your assessment, if you use 2 variables like price and quality, that is fine. But you'll hear this comment from me. Although it doesn't mean that you'll be penalized as long as your analysis is you make the analysis. Okay, I would suggest that you also relate the attributes to the customer's need in your assessment one analysis. Okay. Right, now this is the outcome of your positioning strategy. The positioning strategy that we analyze actually requires us to write a positioning statement. And this is the formula to write a positioning statement. 2, what target market, what need. Our brand is what concept with what point of differentiation. Okay, now let's look at a bit of example here. Okay, let's say Aldi. Okay. Well, roughly, guys, who is the target market of Aldi? How do you describe the target market of Aldi? Okay. Okay, that's the same for less. Is basically their the same for less is basically their value proposition strategy. Okay. Well, for argument's sake, let's say their target market is those who are sensitive with budget or budget-conscious customer. Okay, the budget-conscious customer. That's their target market. Okay. What is their strategy? Their strategy for the positioning strategy. Oops. Let me find another spot. Their positioning strategy or their strategy is basically about being affordability. Okay, so they offer something affordable, right? As you mentioned before, same for less. Okay, same product benefit with less price. Okay, so you will you only need to spend half the price, for instance, or $2 to get a loaf of raisin toasts, for instance. Okay, so yes, build on affordable. Yes, exactly. That's one. So that's basically their strategy. Okay, so let's look at that further. How do they deliver that? That is strategy. Okay, which is basically at the company level. The marketers know that, but we also need to deliver that. Okay, the promise that we design our strategy needs to be delivered. Okay, we need to be able to deliver that with our marketing mix variables. Okay. All right. Now, how do they deliver that? If we look at their product strategy, for instance, okay, I believe we have been to Aldi before. You'll find they have limited range. Okay, remember their premise is affordability. Okay, they only focus on limited range. Okay, that leads us to understanding that they are saving costs. Okay, with limited range, they don't need a large size of store like Woolworths and Coles. Okay, that helps them saving some costs. Okay, and you will also find plastic bag. Now Woolies is also removing the plastic bag. Okay, and some other services. You'll also find some basic services with Aldi. Okay, so limited range. They only focus on key items. Okay, price, affordable. Okay, which is basically similar to their concept. They're using this as their main focus. In terms of placement or distribution, if you look at the size of the store, it is limited range. Okay, limited range. So the size is not as large as Woolies and Coles. Okay, and so if you go back to the product concept again, number of people servicing the customers. If you look at in their selling area, you'll find more people in the selling floor at Woolies and Coles rather than at Aldi. Okay, that's not a way to deliver that. Okay, promotion, they focus on the affordability as well. Okay, affordable, and recently they mentioned that it is a good difference actually. So they give us the justification in terms of being affordable, not being cheapo, basically being smart. Basically, that's what they try to explain to us. Okay, so in other words, the positioning in here that we design should be supported with the entire marketing mix variables that we design. Okay, all right, guys, that's basically the main points that I'd like to discuss with you when it comes to the SDP, segmentation, targeting, positioning. Any question? Hello, any questions? Okay, all right, if you don't have any questions, let's do the Kahoot game in the next session as a reminder for our topics so far. Yeah. And what about the assessment? Have you got any questions for the assessments? Oh, sorry, I can't read. Let me. Okay. What do you want to download, Dan? Sorry. Could you please tell me what you want to download?